What do I know about women's hats?
Too bad you didn't marry somebody who'd buy the kinds of hats you like. Hats that cost $3.95. Why didn't you marry Louise? You always think she looks so beautiful, you'd love her taste in hats. Why didn't you marry her?
Honey, for heaven's sakes, this is just...
Why didn't you marry her? All you've done ever since we got on this train is talk about her. Here I sat and listened to you say how wonderful Louise is. I suppose that's nice. Getting me off here all alone, away from my family and everything, and raving about Louise right in front of my face. It's too bad you didn't ask her to marry. I'm sure she would have jumped at the chance. There aren't so many people asking her to marry them. It's too bad you didn't marry her. I'm sure you would have been much happier.
Listen, baby, while you're talking about stuff like that, why didn't you marry Joe Brooks? I'm sure he could have gotten you all the $22 hats you wanted, I suppose.
Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not sorry I didn't. There. Joe Brooks wouldn't have ever waited until he got me all up here and then sneered at my taste in clothes. Joe Brooks would never hurt my feelings. Joe Brooks has always been very fond of me.
He's fond of you, all right. He's so fond he didn't get you a wedding present.
I happen to know for a fact that he was away on business, and that as soon as he gets back, he plans on buying me anything I want for the apartment.
You listen to me. I don't want anything he gets you in our apartment. I will throw it out the window. That's what I think of your friend, Joe Brooks. How do you know what he's doing anyway? Has he been writing you?
I suppose my friends can correspond with me. I didn't hear there was any law against that.
Well, I suppose they can't. What do you think of that? I'm not going to have my wife getting a bunch of letters from a cheap traveling salesman.
Joe Brooks is not a cheap traveling salesman. He is not. He gets a wonderful salary.
And who told you that, Buck?
He told me so himself.
Oh, he told you so himself. I see, he told you so himself.
You've got a lot of right to talk about Joe Brooks. You and your friend Louise. All you ever talk about is Louise.
Honey, I only talked about her because I thought she was a friend of yours. That's the only reason I ever noticed her.
Well, you certainly took an awful lot of notice for her today. On her wedding day. You said so yourself that when you were standing up there in the church, you just kept thinking of her. You're right up on the altar, right in the presence of God, and all you thought about was Louise.
Listen, honey, I never should have said that. Who knows what kind of crazy thoughts will come through a guy's head when he's standing up there waiting to get married. I just told you that because I thought it was so crazy. I thought it would make you laugh.
I know I've been all sort of mixed up today, too. I told you that. Everything's so strange and everything, and then us being here all alone. And then you thinking of all those people all over everywhere. I know you get mixed up. Only I did think that when you kept talking about how beautiful Louise looked, you did it with malice and forethought.
I never did anything with malice and forethought. I just told you that because I thought it would make you laugh.
Well, it didn't.
Oh, I know it didn't. Most certainly did not. Come on, baby, we ought to be laughing too. Heck, honey lamb, this is our honeymoon. What's the matter?
I don't know. We used to squabble a lot when we were going together, and then when we were engaged and everything, but I thought everything would be so different once we were married. And now I feel so sort of strange. I feel so sort of alone.
Well, you see, honey, we're not really married yet. Well, I mean, we haven't been married very long. Well, we haven't got much longer to wait now. I mean, well, in, let's see, 2 hours. We'll be getting to New York, and then we can go to the hotel, have some dinner kind of quiet, and then do whatever we like. I mean, is there anything special you want to do tonight? Like, go to a show or something.
Oh! Whatever you like. I sort of didn't think people went to theaters and things on there. Well, there are some letters that I simply must write. Don't let me forget.
You're going to be writing letters tonight?
Well, you see, it's been perfectly awful for me, full of the excitement and everything. I never did thank poor old Mrs. Sprague for her berry spoon, and I never did a thing about those bookends that McMaster sent. No, it's just been too terrible of me. I simply must write them this very night.
When you're done writing your letters, maybe you can get you a magazine or a bag of peanuts or something.
What?
I don't want you to get bored.
As if I could be bored with you. Silly. Aren't we married? Bored.
Well, what I thought is, as soon as we get into New York, go straight up to the Biltmore and leave our bags anyway, and then, well, why don't we go straight up to the hotel?
Oh, yes. Let's. I'm terribly glad we're staying at the Biltmore. I just love it. The twice we stayed in New York, we stayed there. Papa and Mama and Ellie and I was just crazy about it. I always sleep so well there. I always go right off to sleep the minute I put my head on the pillow.
You.
Well, you know, way up high. It's so quiet.
If I go to a show or something tomorrow night instead of tonight, you think that might be better?
Yes, I think it might.
You have to write those letters tonight.
Well, I don't suppose they'd get there any quicker than if I wrote them tomorrow.
We won't ever fight again, ever, will we?
Oh, no, not ever. I don't know what made me do like that. Everything got so sort of funny, sort of like a nightmare the way I got thinking of all those people all over everywhere getting married, and so many of them too. But everything spoils on account of fighting. But I don't want to be like them. But we won't be, will we?
Sure we won't.
We won't go all to pieces. It'll all be different now we're married. It'll all be lovely. Fetch me my hat, will you, dear? It's about time I was putting it on. Thank you. I'm sorry you don't like it.
I do so like it.
That's not what you said. You said you thought it was perfectly terrible.
I never said any such thing. You're crazy.
All right. I may be crazy. Thank you very much. But that's what you said. Not that it matters. It's just a little thing. But it makes you feel pretty silly that you just went and married somebody who thinks you have a terrible taste in hats, and then goes and says that you're crazy besides.
Nobody said any such thing. I love your hat. I like it the more I look at it. I think it's great.
That's not what you said before.
Honey, stop it, will you? What are you trying to start this up again for? I love your hat. I think it's great. What do you want me to say?
Well, I don't. Well, you just say it like that.
I said I think it's great. That's all I said.
Do you really?
Yeah?
Do you honestly? Oh, I'm terribly glad. I would hate it for you not to like my hat. It would be sort of, oh, I don't know, sort of such a bad start.
Oh, that's so for heaven's sake. Oh, honey, look at us. We're on our honeymoon. We're not going to have any bad starts. Pretty soon we'll be regular old married people. I mean, well, soon we'll be getting to New York and everything's going to be all right. Look at us. I mean, here we are all married and everything. Here we are.
Yes, here we are, aren't we?